What's up, everybody? I know it's been a minute since I've done any videos, and really, honestly, it's not even a boxing video. What I want to talk about is, when I started doing YouTube, the whole reason for me to do YouTube was to kind of interact with fans. I didn't have that interaction, where I was living at. There wasn't a whole lot of boxing hardcore fight fans like myself where you can have deep conversations with, and I decided, hey, you know what, I'm gonna get it. I saw a couple of guys. There was only a few guys. I think there was only like three guys at the time doing the boxing video vlogs, and I said, hey, I want to jump on this, and I end up getting involved in it, and I end up meeting a lot of great guys out of it. And out of those great guys, I end up, having really, close friendships with, and Blood is one of them. Is a really good friend of mine, a guy that I talk to consistently. I talk to him every a week or every other week, but we always catch up, no matter, how many days have gone by. Me and Blood have always caught up on the ifs and the ands and the whats and the wins and the wheres and stuff. And for some time with me and Blood, we, especially with Blood being very opinionated in what he believes in, and he's one of those kind of guys that if he feels he's right, he's gonna say it, but if he feels he's crossed the line, he's gonna apologize. I know a lot of people have said, oh, he's a thug and he's this and that, but honestly, if you don't get a chance to get to know the man, then you don't even know the man himself. But YouTube has always been after his ass for a long time. This is nothing new. Back when we were starting these video vlogs, and people would attack, people would attack his channel, people would attack my channel, that to the point where they would flag your video, and Blood was always getting flagged because, he was talking about certain issues where certain casual fans or fanboys didn't want you to talk about. They thought that, oh, I'll get this guy down, get him off of YouTube, and we'll stop him from talking because I don't like what he's got to say. So, Blood's always been in that certain position, and it's a shame because you got a guy that really, honestly, if you take the time to listen to, he makes a lot of sense in what he says. He's giving you his opinion as a fan, and it's funny because when he called me up and he's like, "Yo, D, I got the partnership. They gave me partnership on YouTube." We both laughed about that because we just thought that it was that hilarious. Because if anything, Blood was one of those type of cats that really didn't give a shit if he got subscribers. He really didn't care if people would, sub to him or watch him. Where you know that a lot of these other dudes that were getting partnerships, that's what mattered to them most. It didn't matter to them whether they were putting good quality videos. It didn't matter to them whether or not they knew about the sport. It mattered to them about how many subscribers they were going to get. Where Blood's case was like, nah, man, I'm just going to talk about whatever, and that's what it's there for. And Blood, did what he had to do, and it just keep continuing. And recently, I've been watching Blood's videos and stuff, and Blood's, has hit me up, and a lot of people have hit me up like, yo, Ruff, what happened? You're not doing any more videos. You don't do predictions. What's going on? And more or less, like I told Blood, is like, to me, YouTube is dead. YouTube has just gone a different route. A route, and honestly, where I don't even think that you can even give your opinion anymore, because you even have guys that shouldn't be doing videos, that don't really even know anything about the sport, but they just want to rant and argue with people, and try to get their videos down. And it goes to say what happened with Blood. He did a particular video. Was he wrong with what he was saying? Yeah, but you know what? You got a person that comes and makes a comment, and you got this and you got that. And I'm not putting the blame on that particular person. I'm not saying that person flagged him or anything like that. But the point is that everybody's got an opinion, and sometimes your opinion it's not going to be very popular, because you're gonna, if you're a leader and you think solo, more likely the followers are not going to like that. More likely the people that can't think for themselves, they're going to get upset because they feel, wait a minute, I can't think for me. Why is this guy thinking out of the box? And that's basically what Blood does. He thinks out of the box. And people don't like that. People are afraid of that. And YouTube now saying they're going to suspend him and take his videos down. And I spoke to Blood earlier today in the morning. He called me up early in the morning. And he told me, he's like, "Hey, dog, look what I got in my mail box." And he told me, he's like, "I'm really tired of YouTube. If they suspend me, I'm done." And in a lot of ways, I kind of feel what he's saying. In a lot of ways, I understand where he's coming from, because you have particular people that make so many fake accounts, like this dude Radapan, and he has another name, Harvin1, and Cadis 999. You get people like that all they do is make so many different accounts, and then they just throw nothing but hate mail, hate mail, hate mail. That you just think like, hey man, what's the whole purpose? You know what I'm saying? You get these stalkers, and you get kind of sick and tired of these people. Just they got nothing better to do except sit in the dark and hate their lives, so they want to spew it on you. And that's basically what Blood always has to deal with, is people that got nothing better to do except argue. They don't want to have they don't want to debate. They don't want to have communication. They don't even want to be open minded into the conversation. They just want to be right. You know what I mean? It's almost like the Nazis. They just want to be the only ones left in the world. Which is kind of strange, is that you're going to an internet forum, which is YouTube, and that's the sole purpose, is to interact with people. That's why I got involved with it in the beginning. That's why I kind of really enjoyed doing the videos, because I interacted with fans. I got their opinions, they got my opinions, and we would break it down, and it was fun. You would talk to other video vlog guys, and it was fun. There was really nothing based out of it. Now it's more, everything's personal. It's on a personal basis. It was almost like East Coast versus West Coast for a minute. You would see guys going at it. It was like, oh, you're from that side, you're from that team, I'm not talking to you. You're from this team, I'm not talking to you. There was no unity. And it's almost kind of like the way boxing is right now. There is no one sole governed body to control all the mishaps that happen in boxing. That's basically how fight fans are now. There's not one sole. When you see Raider fans, they're Raider fans. When you see Niner fans, they're Niner fans. Boxing is a whole, but it's not like that at all. Of course, some fight fans are going to root for their own countries, and some fight fans are going to do this. Hey, that's great. You got to be proud of where you come from. You got to be proud of what your nationality and your descent and everything. There's no problem with that. But when you take it out of the box and you become personal and you start attacking an individual because they don't agree with you or they don't see your point of view, then that's when you need to take a real, like a big step back and go like, hey, what am I doing here? And YouTube, what they basically do is they allow people to flag your video without even investigating to see whether or not did it violate the guidelines. He did a Hatton video, and all he was talking about was Ricky Hatton. What everybody was talking about. There was all kinds of videos about Hatton doing coke like Tony Montana. you know. But he went on there and he gave his opinion on what was going on with that moment, that particular man, and what happened. Same thing with the Floyd Mayweather scandal. And people didn't like it. People didn't want to hear it. People didn't want to hear an opinionated person. That had nothing, honestly, it had something to do because he's black or whatever the case is. He could be Hispanic, he could be a white guy, but if you got a strong opinion, people don't like that. Like I said, when you think solo, nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to think, everybody thinks that, oh, this guy should think the way I think. Everybody wants to avoid that challenge. And that's what kind of where the victim of what Blood's been involved with is that, YouTube is supposed to protect the vloggers from the people that are harassing them. And instead, they're protecting the harassers, the people that harass, rather than the vloggers. It makes no sense, And for the people that are sitting here and listening to this video, don't agree with me. That's fine. Like I said, you're always entitled to your own opinion. And people that don't agree with Blood, that's cool too. But don't knock another man's hustle. And if you do agree with me, though, the best thing I think is to make changes is to write to YouTube and let them know, like, hey, this ain't right. What happened to like the court of law? Like Floyd Mayweather right now, he's getting charged 8 different counts, and you can't say he's guilty. Let the court of law figure it out. Let the court of law bring out the facts before you start pointing the finger. Well, YouTube is not even using that. They're using the old Western methods. They're lynching a brother before even investigating. They want you to follow certain guidelines. They want you to follow certain rules, but yet they don't even follow their own guidelines and rules. It's shit like that that I think that people need to call out. It's stuff like that that people need to see and understand. Now, where it goes for Blood saying that he's not going to do any more video vlogs and stuff, brother, I say don't. I say, you know what? Hey, they close you down, no problem. Open up another one. No biggie. You know? Because, see, restricting yourself and being creative and having an opinion and doing something that, you have a gift at doing and you love to do, that's the crime there. That's the lynch there, because now you're stopping yourself. Now you're trying to put yourself in a box. Now you're trying to be a follower rather than a leader. That to me makes no sense. You know, and I think that if you're a follower of Blood and you love boxing and you enjoy an opinionated person that's gonna give a different type of outview, a different a perspective of what he thinks, then man, that's a guy that we definitely need in this so-called boxing community. That is somebody that we definitely need to put, out there and make sure that, as a family, as a boxing family, we need to protect. Anyways, man, I'm your boy 97 Rough. You guys go ahead and drop your opinion. Don't agree with it? Hey, no problem. You want to flag it? Go ahead, flag it. Who cares? It's the way it goes.